Starting. Good evening, Andy from Crawling here, and this is a different one for me this evening because we're doing Facebook here. I'm trying Instagram live for the first time, and I haven't done a live stream in fucking ages, so hopefully it works. But anyway, thanks everyone for coming in. It's fabulous to see you all, and yeah, it's been a while. So I'm Andy from the Crawling, singer and vocals. And tonight, I mean, it's only 10:15. It's not even late. This is like an early stream. And I hope you all have a beer because we're going to have a chat about what we've been doing over the last wee while, what we're doing right now, and what we're hoping to achieve and do in the not too distant future. And yeah, and if there's any questions you want to know about, anything you want to chat, just drop them in the comments and I'll come to the Q&A at the end. And I'll do my best to answer what I can. So, recap. What have we been doing? It's been busy. I think the standout thing we've done lately is Carcass. Did anyone see the Carcass shows? So, we got invited to go on tour with Carcass for 3 Ireland dates, which was just absolutely fucking brilliant. So 3 times in a row with Carcass and also Stranglewire, my brother's band. So I think that's probably one of the most enjoyable tours I've done. It was just absolutely great. Carcass were fantastic, and obviously because it was Carcass, it sold out practically every gig. So we got to play in front of an absolute ton of people. So that was particularly cool. Really enjoyed that. Belfast was great. It was our first gig in a long time, a lot of months. And yeah, it was good. Limerick was down. I think it was the best of them all because we were hit our feet and we got a sound check, which we didn't necessarily get at the other shows. And then by Dublin, it was just we had it absolutely nailed. So really good weekend. And fun fact, Jeff Walker blew up his head at sound check on the first date, and then we had to lend him our head for the rest of the tour. So that was just a wee small sip out of coolness. So that's kind of what we've been doing the last sort of gig wise. Ultimately, everybody fucking knows it by now. There is a new album happening. All of this for nothing. And we have been recording that. I'm going to say we. I mean, like literally the 3 of us. So that's been a nice combination of awesome, terrifying, abysmal, stressful, and class over a period of time. So, as I say, it's just the 3 of us recorded it. I got my home studio set up, brought it up the practice room, mic'd the drums up, recorded them. Gary did a smashing job. I think it's probably Gary's best performance to date on a recording. And then back to my home studio, and then Stuart came to the bass. I banged out the guitars, threw down some vocals, and it was all done in about 5 days, I think, in total, the tracking. I think it was maybe 2 days in the drums, 2 days in the bass, like half days, so maybe 2 full days on each. And the guitars, maybe a week, a few hours every night over the week, and then the vocals. I actually got the vocals done in about 8 hours, and so that was actually a lot of fun. Again, I think it's probably my best vocal performance, and I think it's been my most enjoyable. Voice was behaving well. It was at home, had lots of time. And yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. So it's all tracked and I mixed it. That was okay. Mixing is always difficult because you get it mixed and then you go away, you listen to it in the car stereo or your mate's house and you're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck? Why is the kick drum so loud right now? So got that all fixed up, repaired. We did send it out to a few mastering houses, but then I mastered it as well. And to be honest, yeah, it's just that control freak in me. I just decided to master it myself, and we're totally happy and delighted and thrilled now. So that's what we've been doing, recording wise. I also, from a sort of side note to that, took the vlog setup. Everyone knows we do videos and vlogs, and I took it down to the Belfast Bloodstock Metal to the Masters final and did some vlogging of that. So that was good fun. Got to meet a lot of cool bands in Belfast that I hadn't met before, and yeah, that was a whole day editing that. So thanks to James from the Distortion Project for making me do that. But we'll get to that later, why I'm so nice to that guy. So What else? So what are we doing at the moment? It has been centered around the new album. So the artwork is the big thing at the moment. So Travis Smith did the artwork, which just blows my mind every time I say it out loud because Travis Smith is just one of those artists that I have admired as long as I can remember. Just all those sorts of albums, early Catatonia, Opeth. I mean, he's done Slayer and stuff, Testament, I think, too. He's just a fantastic artist, and I'm just delighted to have him on board with The Crawling. And this is his third album cover of ours. Like, that's fucking cool. So, Travis has got his stuff all done. We are currently trying to find someone to shoot a video, which is proving problematic, but we'll get there because it's usual DIY stuff as well. And we are designing a headline set run, kind of set list, which we are sort of looking at an hour. So we're going to do a touring schedule and we're going to be doing hour-long sets, give or take. So we need to sort of put the set list together and we're trying to work out what new songs to put in because we were playing a couple of the new songs off the album that weren't released over the last year or so and what old songs to keep in, you know, and how the set flows, all that sort of good stuff. So we're designing at the minute. Stuart's looking after that tonight. So that's kind of what we're at right now. So coming up, now this is the important shit. I think the most important thing coming up is we are releasing our third album entitled All of This for Nothing. And it's coming out on Grind Scene Records and the Distortion Project Records. Remember I talked about James Loveday, the Distortion Project? That's why I did the vlog for him. So the album is going to be 7 new tracks, it's 7 tracks, 2 of which you'll have heard live over the last year or so, and 1 of which was recorded as a single over the COVID period. So Sparrow is on the new album, along with March of the Worm, which, if you've seen us live, you'll have heard that sort of track before. And then an additional 5 tracks that no one's heard and basically went from demo level to the album. So that's pretty exciting. They sound really good. It flows well. And yeah, we're just really dying to get the album out. So I'm very excited about that. So that's kind of the main focus right now, is getting the album out. Attached to that, there are certain things. So merchandise. Everybody knows that The Crawling love a bit of merch. And this is set to be... it's astronomical. It's going to be the largest, biggest, most expensive merch run I think we've ever done. I fucking love merch, and we've always approached it in the same way that we always have, and that is we are putting out things that I would like bands to do. That, you know, as a fan, what I love of my favourite bands, My Damn Bride, Catatonia, Satyricon, whatever, it's the sort of merch that I want. So that's what we're producing. We have 4, let me see, that guy. Yeah. So we have 4 artists working on pieces for the merch run. So yeah, and we've got some back, and it's really fucking cool. Travis has sent his stuff in, and we have 2 other guys working on stuff. So we're hoping end of May, start of June to get that, and then we can start getting the merch out. So it really comes down to, if there's anything that you guys want us to put out merch wise, basically just let us know. So drop in the comments, you know, what sort of merch do you like? What are you into? I don't know. There's certain things that I don't think work for us, like snapback caps and stuff. But you know what? See, if there's people that want them, I'm not totally against that. Maybe. I think I'm totally against snapbacks. But all joking aside, if there's merch that you want, just drop it in the comments and we will see what we can do to get it sorted, because it's you guys continually investing in the band enables us to do things like this, because all the money that we've sort of brought in over the last couple of years and t-shirt sales and CDs and all that stuff, it just goes straight back into the merch pot, and then we spend all of it on the merch. So Pins and Knuckles can retire after this run. I'm so afraid of the bill. I'm so afraid. So what else have we got coming up? Gigs are happening. Oh my god, are gigs happening? So the next one we have, so we have a couple of shows coming up before the release, and then, or maybe just one. So first thing, 10th of June, Saturday night, up in Derry, and we are playing Demolition Fest. And I did have the poster up, but I can't because it's on my phone. Shit. Anyway, there's a heap of cool bands. It's actually over 2 days, Friday and the Saturday, and we're headlining the Saturday, and we have never played Derry, so super excited to get up and do that. And there's a heap of cool bands on. Check the poster, check the flyers, check the Facebook event. It's all in there, and it would be nice to see some people at that. And I think we might debut some new tracks at that. So if you're at Derry, you're going to get a sneak preview of completely unheard material. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, we're going to do it. I think we're going to do 3 new songs at that. Stuart has decided. He sent us the message today. I was like, this is our set list. We're doing new tracks. So we're working on that. Next thing we have would be the release of the album, which comes out Friday the 28th of July. That's the official release date. And we're playing Limerick on the Saturday. So it effectively means Limerick is going to be the first date and the launch party, and all the new merch is going to end up getting brought to Limerick. So, yeah, bring your toppy thing for that, because, yeah, that's going to be actually almost like pretty much an album launch, basically, in Limerick. That's our first show. And then we are in Dublin a few weeks later, August 19th, I think is the date. Hasn't been announced yet. Probably shouldn't be talking about this, but, you know, I have to. It's fine. Yeah, fuck, it's our band. We can do what we like. So there's going to be a date in Dublin. And then we are approaching the mother of all gigs, Grand Declaration of War. So we've worked very closely with the Distortion Project, and we put together a show, and it's insane. I know it's insane. We have rented out practically one of the largest venues in Belfast, the Mandela Hall. It's for a very good reason, and I appreciate it's 1,000 cap, and I don't expect to fill 1,000. If 1,000 people show up, I'll take it. That'll be fucking class. However, it's going to be a good show. We're going to sort of partition off a bit of the venue and bring it down to just a more appropriate size for what we're going to do. But there are things in a venue of that size you can do that you can't do anywhere else. So you have to go to this gig. It's gonna be fucking great. It's gonna be fucking fire. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited about it. And I can't remember who's in the fucking bill now. So, and I can't find it because it's on my phone. Anyway, so again, check the event. A load of cool bands in that. And the Distortion Project is very heavily invested in it. We're very heavily invested in it. And if all goes according to plan, speaking of the Distortion Project, Distortion Project Records have very kindly decided to put all of this for nothing out on vinyl. So yes, so vinyl is definitely happening because it was sent away today and bought and paid for. So it's definitely happening. We get a lot of cool feedback about people definitely wanting the vinyl. So we just thought, you know what, we've talked about it for a long time. I think we're in a position because vinyl is horrendously expensive. However, like I say, the merch fund's been building up, and then Distortion Project Records have come on board, and they're like, James is like, I'll do it. So we were like, right, here's a very high spec, and you're now bankrupt. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. But on the flip side, or to go hand in hand with that, the Grand Declaration of War, we need you guys to completely help us do that because it's fucking massive. Everyone knows it's massive. It's totally insane. But whatever, you only live once. Just fucking do it. I want to do it. James wants to do it. All the bands are on board. Everyone's just all in for this. But we need you guys to share it. So whenever you see the poster, you got to click a like, you got to comment, you got to share it, you got to tell your mates. I mean, this is one of those shows where it's like bring down everybody. Just anyone you can think of. that wants to experience heavy metal for the first time. That here's you talk about shows. You want to bring them to show them what a heavy metal show is like. This is the one you have to go to. This is the gig. You cannot miss this, because I don't think we'll be able to do it again. So you don't want to miss it. But bring all those people. So if you're watching this, share the post, share the pictures, share the poster, tell your friends, tell your family, bring everyone down to this fucking gig. If you're in a band, you know what's involved in this. So I would just really appreciate if everyone weighs into this one, because we really need it. But it's going to be fucking amazing. And we all see the posts on the Facebook and all that shit of gigs and festivals getting cancelled because of lack of ticket sales, lack of interest. This gig is going to happen anyway. It is happening. We are not working off a set number of people buying tickets. We are not working off the capacity of the venue. If there's only 10 people go, the venue don't care. It's happening. It is 100% happening regardless. But the more people we get in the room, it's just going to be so much better. It is. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. And also terrified. But that's fine. What else have we got coming up? We have confirmed. So once the album's out, then it's basically into the tour cycle. So November, we have dates confirmed for England. Just the usual, sort of 3 or 4 dates. So we'll be doing that. And we are going to keep hitting England basically as much as we can. So I can't remember the venues and dates, but they'll follow in future posts. And we've got some things confirmed for 2024. And yeah, so we're just going to keep doing that. And again, same story. If there's somewhere you want us to play, if there's a festival you want us to play, if you want us to come to your city, your town, I don't give a fuck where it is. Put us out there, talk to promoters, talk to other bands. This is how it works. If you create interest with people, then the interest comes our way and we get invited to come and do things. And it is literally down to you. It's almost beyond our control. There's a million bands out there trying to get gigs, and it's really difficult right now because of the whole hangover from COVID, and all the bands are heading out on tour. So it really is, it's down to you. You ask for us, we'll get invited to play. So that's what we're hoping is going to happen. So I think that's it, kind of, with where we are, what we've been doing, where we are, what we're coming. Basically just, it's all about All of This for Nothing, a new album, 7 new tracks, vinyl, CD, cassette. People keep saying floppy disk. That has to be a fucking joke, but I'm old, so I have no fucking idea if that's true or not. Wax cylinder, I did look at that really, really closely. I don't think so. It's very expensive, but it's also very cool. And we've a habit of doing stupid shit whenever stuff is just awesome. But I think it's £1 million as well. Yeah, add it on the bill, whatever. Distortion Project Records could put that out. Totally happening. So, right, I'm going to jump over to... I got some Q&As through, so we're going to move into that. So I'm going to have a look at my computer here to see what's going on and go through some questions. So, who's first? Chris Stewart. Who are some of the standout new and or lesser known bands that have caught your eye lately? Okay, I think there's kind of 2 parts to that one. Lesser known or new. So at a local level, I'm sad to say that it's the first time I saw Gravepath and at the Metal to Masses final, and I thought they were fucking brilliant. They were really fucking heavy, and it wasn't what I was expecting. Wasn't expecting to like it. And I thought they were fucking class. So fucking heavy. Really well put together. Just massively energetic live. And fun fact, the bass player of Gravepath, I was in a band with for about 15 years. Honey for Christ. So that was good. Lesser known. They're not really less. Well, are they lesser known? Probably. I know of them. But Shores of Null, who I saw supporting Swallow the Sun Draconian in the Limelight a couple of months ago. I thought they were fucking smashing. But they're not small, but I think they're lesser known, and it was really good. It's like Alice in Chains, but with doom death metal. Cracker. Really, really good vocals. Well worth checking out. Shores of Null. Next question. Mark Russell. Whether you're considering a small reprint of old merch for those that missed out. At the minute, with the merch bill being well over 4 figures, Probably not at the moment. I think because I know you're referring to In Light of Dark Days, which was our first EP, which was almost, I don't know, was that 8 or 9 years ago now? It's very long. Yeah, it is quite long ago. So potentially, but not at the moment. I think what we'll do is when it comes up to some sort of anniversary or something, yeah, I think In Light of Dark Days I'll get a reprint. We'll do that for you. That's fine. But that's it. Anything else you want reprinted, let us know, but give us a good warning whenever we're getting a reprint done. And also, just your thoughts on the good, the bad, and the ugly of the music industry today. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm not even sure I'm in the music industry sometimes. It's not really my job. Sadly, I have a job that pays for this, but I know what you mean. We are pretty involved in it, I suppose. The good is that the internet is phenomenal. Spotify, YouTube, technology just makes it really good to get the band out there, and it's really enjoyable. And I've sort of progressed through the change of there being like no internet and no video, and then to where we are now. So that's kind of cool. The bad, I suppose ultimately it's really just the amount of bands. I mean, it's a good thing. There's a lot of music out there. The bad thing is it's purely selfish. There's just so many. Oh, take that. There are just so many bands that you're just fighting to get heard. You're just fighting to get shows, get venues, and it just makes it difficult. But I wouldn't say it's bad. It's more difficult. The ugly of the industry today. I think what I would suffer from, and is this bad or ugly? I'm not sure. From a creative point of view, it's ugly for me, is the fact that as much as I really do enjoy all this social media stuff, and I like design and artwork, I like recording sometimes. I don't like mastering. I like recording and mixing. It's all right. I don't like mastering. And Photoshop and that stuff. I've just found myself, particularly over the last 6 or 8 weeks, doing strictly what I would call the business side of the band, and I don't get time to pick up my guitar. And yet I am supposed to be a musician in a band, but I'm not. I am 1,000 things. And it is cool and exciting, but there are times you just like, I just want to fucking play guitar. I can't be fucked, But I do enjoy it all because I'm a complete control freak. So, next question. Davy Bowden. Hey, Davy. What does AOFTN mean? All of this for nothing. So you'll see a lot of that. It's basically the acronym of this current album, and it's basically the focus, which I've come to embrace. And I think it's an age thing. I think you get to a certain point in life where you're aware of where you are in life. You're quite content as to where you are, and the realization of finality and death, and ultimately, nothing matters. It just doesn't fucking matter. We'll all be dead soon, So, yeah, you just go through everything and then you die. And I say Travis Smith did a fantastic job because that was a custom piece of art that he made for us, and he's just absolutely fucking nailed it. I think we just need to appreciate Travis Smith's art one more time because it's so fucking good. It's going to look awesome in the vinyl. It's going to look awesome. What colour vinyl, people? What colour vinyl? I need to know. Okay, next question. Another one from Chris Stewart. Another question that sprang to mind. This will be your 3rd album and your first album in 5 years. Oh my God, really? Oh, fuck, is it that old? Yeah, it is. The pandemic. I'm excluding 2 years from that. But yeah, I know what you mean. Okay. Since the last album, has the pandemic and or the 5 years gap since the last album made you approach this album any differently to previous releases in any way? And is there anything you do differently to how you approach the first 2 albums and the other songs released? Initially, yes. When I started writing this album, I hate talking about the pandemic, but there was a pandemic and we were stuck inside for a million years. So, yes, when I first started the album, I basically wrote, I think it was about 9-10 songs, excluding Sparrow and March of the Worm. So I had about 10 songs written, and I was very much by myself. I was completely isolated from Gary and Stuart. And it seemed to me like my normal writing. But then it just, when I finished them all, I was just listening to them and was like, no, that's shit. So that was atrociously demoralizing and very frightening because I felt like I was rubbish and the usual crippling self doubt that goes with writing songs. And then I just binned them all. I just fucking threw them all in the bin and started writing again once we could practice together and we started getting back and doing gigs and basically getting to know each other. It was weird because it was just such a big gap. Getting back, doing shows, playing together, getting the feel for the band again. I felt like I really lost touch with what the crawling was. So I I just started again, and I definitely lost 2 years. I thought I had gained some time with doing stuff, but I didn't. I lost it. I lost time, which was a bit sad. So, and I really think we just went back to our sort of default of me writing riffs, getting songs together, throw them out to the guys, and then they it's a yay or nay. I like it. I don't bring it to practice and see what works, see what doesn't. So I think it was pretty much our normal way of writing, to be honest. Um, Anything you do differently to how you approach the first two albums and other songs released? Um, I'm always very aware of what we did last time. Again, I don't know if anybody picks up on this, but Anatomy of Loss was relatively simple song structures, and it was not to say criticism. There was a bit of critique, and a few people had said or reviews, whatever, about the song structures being a bit simplistic and repetitive. So when I really looked at them, I was like, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, okay. I mean, also fuck those guys, but yeah, I get it. So when I wrote Wolves, I was really focused on these complicated structures. I appreciate it might not sound that way, but trust me, there was a lot of time spent on them. And I think I took it a wee bit too far with the likes of Promises and Parasites and those sorts of tracks, and Still No Sun, maybe just a tad, maybe not as fluent as they could be. So this time I really tried to focus on what the song was trying to convey. Sort of remembering why I write songs in the first place. You know, the crawling is about a message. It's about important things that matter. And so I focused on that. Every time I wanted to do something, it was like, does this put across what I'm trying to say? And if the answer is no, it's like, well, then fuck that. Get that out of the road to fuck. Trim that off, shorten this down. And which resulted in actually one of the shortest tracks we've ever written, which is going to be cool because I think it's going to be the first single, Thy Nazarene. So, yeah. So I'm excited to see what people think about that. But that was kind of my approach, which was different to previous times. So, Jason McDonald, what can we expect from the new album? Any surprises in terms of music? Surprises? I don't think so. I mean, we all know what the crawling is, what it sounds like. I think there's a lot more thoughts going into the songs, like I say, and I spent a lot more time on the vocals. So ultimately, it's going to sound like us. However, there's a lot more work and time went into the song structures and the vocal structures, and some different vocals I haven't done before. Just very quiet, blended in, but they're there. So listen out for that. And yeah, there's definitely something different about this one. It's yeah, there's something in there. So I'm gonna go over to Facebook. Adam Getty. Yeah, I can't hide from Adam Getty. He was slagging me there. Shane Hughes, get a beer. Did. Adrian Williams, hello. You're there. And I think that's it. Oh wait, I've skipped on too far. Oh shit. Right, okay. Right. Oh, there's lots of questions. I missed all this. How the tickets going for the Belfast gig from Joe Duffin? They're going well. I'm pretty impressed by that actually. And the physical tickets seem to be a big thing. People seem to be all about the physical tickets, so they're selling well. But buy more, because just buy more. More the better. Be great to know there's a million people coming. Belfast's also a bit of a walk-up town. I've seen that happen at even, famous bands. So, but so far so good. Lee Milner, CD and long sleeve bundles would be good. Okay, Lee, I got you. Yep, I'm gonna do. Okay, we'll do some bundles. I wasn't sure about bundles actually. Do people still want to do that, or would you just rather pick and choose your own stuff? But there'll always be a wee bit of discount in the bundle, so I think we'll do that. The vinyl might be difficult to bundle because it's Distortion Project releasing it, but I'm pretty sure we can work something out. Joe Duffin, Oh yes, 12-inch plastic. Told you, bro. I got you. It's happening. It is happening. I promise. Somebody else said yes for bundles. Okay, bundles it is. Chris Craig. Chris, you're gonna have to. I think you're gonna have to get a loan. Just warning you now. Christian. I'm sorry, I can't say your second name. I'm not going to insult you by trying to pronounce it. Vinyl long sleeve, hopefully 180G. It's heavyweight vinyl, but I'm to be honest, I give the vinyl over to other people to work out because I don't do the vinyl thing. I know, I'm so not cool. So they're taking care of it, but I know it's heavyweight vinyl. Bought a ticket for someone who's never had a metal gig. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to do. Get people who've never been to a metal gig, and you're going to take them, and you're going to be like, this is the show to go to, and you're going to show them, and it's going to be, yeah, that's as metal as it gets. Good work, Joe. Adam Getty, if you get me a crappy floppy disk, I'll put it in the server at work. I still don't know what this is. Oh dear. Okay. Chris Stewart, I know you did Leicester last year, but it would be brilliant if you were to play Uprising 2024. I've been watching those vlogs on YouTube, they kick ass. Nice one. Yeah, and again, whenever Uprising are asking about, the festival, asking about, what gigs, what bands do you want us to play, you got to start tagging us and that shit. Get on the Uprising, message them, email them, post on Facebook. But yeah, we'll let them know that there's a bit of interest for it. So need you to do a bit too. Get in there. Up a Grave Path, 100%. Metal the Masses vlog was class. Good, glad you enjoyed it. That was 5 hours out of my day I could have done without. That was good. No, it was good fun. I really enjoyed that actually. It was good meeting the bands. That's grand. I'll take one myself, but you guys are a friend of mine's first ever metal show, and she loves the design and keeps asking me if there's any left. Oh, it's about the shirts. Okay. Draconian and Belfast, yes, they were fantastic. But they're not lesser known, are they? I don't think so. They're pretty famous. Two bands we check out. Shores of Null, haven't seen them yet. Check out Grave Altar for sure. Grave Path. Don't know Grave Altar. Shores of Null, 100%, mate. Really good. Same money industry, you'll be able to hire people to cover that stuff for sure. Yeah, and that's it. There's just no money in this, and we do a lot of things ourselves, like videos, recording, mixing, mastering, artwork to a degree. Art's the only thing I really suffer that I can't do. I'm just not an artist. So yeah, we put all our money into that. So, will there be any vlogs on the making of the new album? Yes, there are. To be honest, they're slightly more limited than I would have liked or that we've done in the past. And it really comes down to, I'm sad to say, my stress level during the recording. Some of it was just so hard. I put myself under massive time pressure because I wanted to do it. So I thought, I'll set a completion date. And then I was like, here, James, let's book the Mandela Hall. That'll be fucking class idea. And let's make it as close as possible so it makes my head melt. So because I did that, I'm still under massive pressure. Like I say, we're trying to shoot a fucking music video and we haven't found anywhere to shoot yet. So they're not as in-depth as previous, but they are there, and it definitely gives a good insight. And I'll probably do some retrospective stuff, about some of the process that I maybe missed out, just so you can get an idea of what we've been doing. So yeah, it's coming. Benjamin Ash. Ben, hello. It's my good mate Ben from Carcass Satiric Comedy and now Strigoi. Yeah? Playing with Strigoi still? Yes? I think that's where you are. Shane Hughes, any favourite lyrics in the new album? Yes, I do. I think it's just a line, is this the worst you've ever... What is it? Am I the worst you've ever been? From Thy Nazarene. Oh, I like that lyric. Ben, how'd the Carcass run go? Yeah, it was class. I was just talking about that at the start. And yeah, where were you, bro? Yeah. No, Carcass was fucking brilliant, mate. So I'm sorry you weren't still playing, but yeah, the new guy's cool too. So yeah, but we did miss you. Crawling Premier Ireland for me. Good. Ben, have you checked out? Oh, where'd that go? Oh, we lost Ben. We checked out the recent Strigoi LP. Yes, I love Strigoi. I don't think we've seen them though. No, we did. Sure, we saw he's a Bloodstock. Yeah, it was fucking brilliant, mate. Loved it. Nasty guitar tones. It's no place in heavy metal. It's too nasty. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was really good at Bloodstock, and new stuff's good gear. Really good. It's a nice, more blast in it than the sort of Valenfire project, which is same sort of vein, sort of thing. So Mark Russell, oof, the single will be released before the Derry show. I fucking hope so, man. I really do hope so. Um, so yeah, there's Gary BT, Gary Blast BT. The Instagram is working, excellent. So I'm doing them both tonight. So this is a new one, live on Instagram here, live on Facebook here. So it works. That's good. I'm happy with that. Chris Stewart, very interesting. Cheers for answering the questions. Very welcome. Thanks for asking. It's good to get a bit of chat going. I enjoy all this. Get a loan on it right now. Oh, you're definitely going to need a loan. Definitely. I also need a loan. Technically, we got a loan. Shores of Null, very underrated. I agree. Joe Duffin got a new job with better wages to pay for merchant holidays. Yep. Gravepath whoops. I don't even know where I got Grave Altar from. You could start Grave Altar. You could start being Grave Altar. Shane, did you use the same amps for guitars? Or did you change it up? I don't even want to tell you how I record the guitars because it's a wee bit sad. The short answer is I didn't do anything like what I've done before. And to be honest, it caused me more fucking ball ache than it was worth, and I wouldn't do it again that way. I should just have mic'd it up. I was using the whole head into my 2 Notes Reload and then using IRs, and I used neural plugins because everyone says how good they are and how close they sound to the real amps, but they're a fucking nightmare to put in the mix. They're almost, those plugins come mixed, so it's just like, oh, it sounds like In Flames, or it sounds like Gojira, whatever, and yeah, it does mixed, but when you put that guitar tone into a full mix, it just disappears. So it's actually fucking useless. So sorry, when I say useless, I can't fucking mix it very well. I find it really hard to mix a plugin. So I'm not fucking doing that again. But I also use the Kraken. So the 5150 is not on this album. But again, I had no fucking time to mess about. It was just like, today is for the guitars, so I had to do it really quickly. So I did, and I would have better spend the time setting up a decent guitar tone. So, lesson learned. Oh, my battery's going down on my phone, so we're going to stop using this soon. Anybody else? No, that is all on the Facebook. Instagram, can I do this? Oh shit, sorry, hold on. Alright, okay, there's lots of people on Instagram. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Well, listen, thanks everyone for coming onto the Instagram. That's really good. That's cool. Glad that works. Dara, can't wait to see you in June. Dara, hello Dara. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Sky Pilot. I'm going to wave at Sky Pilot. There's Phil Brett. Oh, he knows things. He knows shit as well. Keep an eye on that. He's from Nina. Blood Soaked Ireland supports cough cough. Yes. I mean, reach out. I have no idea what's going on with supports right now, so yep, it's all cool. There's Gary, my drummer. Hi Gary. I'll wave at Gary. Oh no, it was somebody else. I waved at Alan. No, that's fine. And okay, cool. Can't hear you, dude. Oh. Okay. Maybe I did something weird. Did I mute something? No sound. No. Oh dear. Don't know what I've done there. Right. I don't know what's happened to Instagram. Something happened. I think it was the battery died. Okay. Right. I think on that note, there's no sound here, so we're gonna end that. So thanks for coming, Instagram, and we'll see you soon. So I'm gonna end the Instagram. I don't know how to end it. Sound's gone. Gary says the sound's gone. Don't know what happened. Goodbye, Instagram. Cheers, everybody. Facebook. Instagram's gone. Don't know what happened. I did well getting that far, I actually think. Right, so is that it? Are we done? No more questions? Oh no, wait. Chris Stewart, the Crawling Strigoi joint tour. Ben, actually, yes. That would be fucking tremendous. Everyone scroll up and you'll see Ben Ash. Poison him. You have to take the Crawling on tour. Make him do it. That would be fucking awesome. That would be a good tour. We could bring them over, couldn't we? I think we could maybe look into that. Adam Getty, looking back on the starting of the band, what would you do differently compared to today? What would I do differently? To be honest, I think this is as good as it's ever got. I've been in bands since I was 16 years old, which is now 30 years. I'm sad to say, and I learned a lot over that 30-year period. And when we got to the crawling, I sort of used as much as I could that I learned, and yeah, just put that into crawling. So I don't think I can do anything different because I don't know what else to do. I think that's the honest truth. Yeah, we've just done as much as we can. So we have done as much as we can with the band, and we're always doing what we think is the best thing. And I am honestly out of all ideas. I guess apart from quit your job and do it full time, but that's not possible. You have to have a job and be in a band. So yeah, that's it. There's more comments. He's got more comments. Um, so Strigoi were phenomenal. Bloodstock, yes they were. They were fucking class. Nomadis, great insight in the album. Can't fucking wait. Yes, I hope the Nomadis album's going well. Everyone needs to go and check that out. So yeah, okay. Listen, I think we're done. That was really enjoyable. That was good. So thanks very much for coming on. And like I say, we need all you fucking lovely people to help us with this new album because the world is just an ever-changing place, and you can hire as much PR and spend as much as you like in Facebook ads. It doesn't matter. Fuck. It's about people coming to gigs, spreading the word, telling people, telling promoters. That's where it happens. So it's up to you. You want us to do shit? Spread the word. And I need you to do that. So do it. Do it even now. Whenever this is over, like, fucking share this video. I want to see this video shared, like, by everyone that's on this stream tonight. That's what you have to do. So listen, I'm Andy the Crawling. Thank you so much for coming on this, and it was great. So I hope you enjoyed your Tuesday night, late night, after dark with Crawling. And I guess just all of this for nothing. It's coming. So until then, stay miserable.